samengestelde eenheid van Canadezen en Engelsen. En een van de mensen die daarbij was, bij die Britse Polar Bear Divisie, is de heer Moulton.
Wat is uw naam?
Clifford Moulton. Clifford Moulton.
En waar bent u geboren?
In Harwich, near Bolton, in Lancashire.
En wanneer bent u geboren, als ik vragen mag? Wanneer, welk jaar?
1 april 1923.
En kunt u heel kort zeggen wat u in uw jonge jaren deed in Engeland?
Was gewoon lager onderwijs tot de 14. En ik begon op een locomotieffabriek van de LMS, London Scottish Railways, which was later British Railways. Het was een van de grootste fabrieken voor de locomotive. En ik maakte cylinders voor de apprentice, was ik voor cylinders maken voor de locomotives. I was there till I was 17 years old. I volunteered for the army in 1940. 18th of December 1940, I joined the 70th Battalion Duke, West Yorkshire Regiment. That was a training regiment for younger soldiers. I was there 18 months, then I went to the 7th Battalion Duke of Wellington, which I served right through to the end of the war in Germany. I was in the army. I rose to the rank of corporal on the brain carrier.
Tussen 1940 en 1944. Was u toen in Engeland?
Ja. Ja, England, Scotland, Wales, overal on defensie en training voor verschillende dingen. Tussenin, I was transferred for a half year on Royal Corps of Signals. When for daylight landings, I was sent back to the regiment. When I was in Frankrijk, there was a courses for carriers, and I learned to drive a motorbike and cars while I was with the signals, so I was lucky enough to go to the carriers. I served on the brain carriers till the end for the war. When the war ended, I was transferred to the 3rd Division, the 2nd Battalion East Yorks. They was beginning to knew that was a regular regiment, and they was being told we was going to Japan for the landers in Japan. We was ready to go, and on the day for this they dropped the atom bomb. That was finished, we hadn't to go. So we thought we was going back home then, of course, but no. We were sent out to Palestine, and I served in Palestine. I went through to Egypt, from Egypt, the Gaza Strip, right through to Haifa. And we was on patrols right through to Iraq and Iran, Syria, for the pipelines, for the war with the Arabia War, to the Arabia. And I was there till 1947, where I finished my time in the British Army. But I joined. They asked me would I go on reserve service, and I went on service, and I went to the cavalry in Bolton. That was a Duke of Lancaster's own yeomanry. That was on tanks, but I served on scout cars as a radio operator gunner. Also, the driver was by, there was all things between. I served there till 1950, when I went with my wife back to Holland. I met my dear wife. I met her on the 17th of April for the befriending from Ida. And that was the finest thing that ever happened for me in the war. We were very happy. We had a lovely little family. And in 1981, we had a very serious car crash where I was seriously injured and my wife was killed. So that was the saddest day of my life. We was in Tilbury, that's on the Thames, by Gravesend, Tilbury, little place on the Thames. We went on Liberty boats. We was hired up on Liberty boats for the carriers. Oh, the carriers was almost waterproofed, all special. The end unit was all plasticated and so and up. And it was watertight. Then he could go so far. And over on the top of was so much steel around for the water to come higher. We was forming on convoy to go into from the Thames out, and we had another boat. It smashed into the back of the carrier of our boat, and there was a bump off the carrier, so we was delayed. And they was going to go back or go through, but we went right through, and it was pretty seasick for a lot of people. I've never been seasick, so I was very lucky. But most of the blokes were seasick. We had an American, I believe they transferred us over onto landing craft, and the landing craft was an American, and and so got and you're all right, you're not getting any water at all in the carrier, and it's prima landing. But he landed us so short that the carrier went bumps right on the water and right over the top. We landed okay, we got through, we got on the land, we got over the perimeters, and then we had to get short of that stuff so we could go farther with the carrier. I'd all got to get all for that. Could only ride so many kilometres, and it got too hot and you couldn't ride anymore. So good. We're firing out. I think we lost 3 carriers that day. But I was lucky, we got through. Fired on plenty of times, and was all the patrols I did as it was. But I was always lucky. I always said that you call me short horse. But I was very good, I was a short horse. They shot outside over my head, and the other buggers, they got shot down, of course. And I was one of the, I think I was one of the few people out the platoon that was over it then. And I was a very lucky man. I was very well known in the regiment, I think I was the smallest man in the regiment, and everybody knew me. And we had some very, very bad times. We fought against the SS, the 12th SS, and we shot with 2 battalions. I was with the 7th and the 6th Battalion at Fontelay, the Pasno. That's just outside on the borders of Becan. They lost the whole battalion, was completely mopped out. I went with my carrier with just the driver and me, picking all the lads up what we could fetch out that was badly wounded, and Germans was in, of course, but we picked everything up what there was. Well, that was the worst thing as I ever saw then. It was hundreds of men's running away, actually running away, 20 years old. And there were lads younger than me, 17 and 18, and they'd just gone in the fired up. And yeah, it was a terrible time. But I'm very lucky to be a very lucky man to be here to this day. But I was very proud to speak for that regiment. They're very brave lads. We was 3 weeks still stand in Cagney, that is flat by the coast in Frankreich, and we was dug in there, so the Americans could go on the right. We did with the left hand for Monty. We were left wing for Monty, and we had to hold the line there for the Americans to break through on the right hand. We're getting shelled with the morning minis. That was the apparatus what the Germans had. That goes wah 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 wah. That was you got used to it at last, because you could hear them coming. You couldn't. They did very little damage on manskap, but only on buildings and so. But that was every night, and over there you was down in the ground then, and everything happened at night, and patrols every night, trying to fetch German prisoners in and all that sort of thing. But it was a bad time. And I actually got dysentery. I wasn't the only one. There was more men with dysentery than was 3 weeks on a bed, in a hospital bed, and that was, they give you nothing but for the sort of thing, and it was coming out both from fore and under. And after 3 weeks come the big push, and they sent us back the morning from the big push. We all went back to and right on the front, right through for the big push. So that was a terrible time. We were just weak as a kitten, shall we say. Well, that was, but we pushed on. We had very little trouble. We pushed on them. Yeah. We took a hell of a lot of prisoners, of course. Then we went right through. We was outside the left wing for Monday. 49th Division was outside the left wing. Dunkirk, we went through Dunkirk, covered in from the war, and right through to Brussels. And from Brussels we went to Turnout. We were there quite a long while. And then we did, after that we finished up in the B tour. We took over in the B tour in November '44, and we stayed in the B tour till 15th of April, if I remember. We were on the push to Arnhem. And then we went with buffaloes. That's like big tanks. We fought right through to, I was a leading carrier from Arnhem right through to the Ginkles of Hay. Over the Ginkles of Hay, we went over the railway to Renkum, and then up from Renkum that road from Renkum through the bush there to Bennekom, from Bennekom to Wageningen, and by the off from Gelderland in Wageningen, we stood still. I got a report through as my carrier had to go second carrier, and the captain took over. I was a lucky man there as I took over. The first carrier, my mate, Corporal Dew, He was a driver, and he hit a landmine. The carrier was blown up. He was killed. Captain Ellingsworth was wounded in the head. The signaller, he was lost two legs, and the black man, that's the outpasser from the captain, lost one leg. We had to take a walking patrol, a standing patrol we call that, right along Richting after Berwick, up the way from Lyme. This was on the brook there by the harbour. And we were marching then, going through to, and we had to go 1,000 metre on patrol. And I was a brain carrier, a brain gunner, so I was the first man up. And I was with T-man, and we saw nothing. So we got radio back again, as we had to come back, retreat back. Okay. We turned round to retreat back, and all of a sudden we heard English Rotsacker, that very well, and bub 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 bub, and we dropped. The bloke in front of me was a man about as tall as you, and he got a bullet right through his shoulder, and he missed me. I was a lucky man. He'd have hit me, he'd have killed me, because I fell down and I started shooting him with the brain, and I shot the men, the others out, and then they shot me out. And we retreated back and reported, and then we said, oh, the infantry come, and then they held the line there, and we came to Eder. We'd be fighting from Eder from the other side. The corporal, that was a very sad thing. He'd never been, I don't think he's ever seen a German, the whole war. And he'd just come back from leave, 2 days back from leave. And he was married on his leave, so it was a very bad tragedy. I'd been shooting the brain, so I was unlucky. I got to get my brain clean. And the lads, they went all tight on the other side for the railway, and that was all sand there in that days. And they was digging in for keeping that sand there. And they went out at night, but I was unlucky that night. I was too busy on a lot of work on the brain, because I'd fight a lot of... but the next day, there was girls and that on the street there, cleaning the street out, with a hair cut off or so. And our battalion commandant, he stopped that. He said that they can't do that. And there was a big show over that, of course, but he stopped him, and it never happened again. But the funniest thing was, I was in one of the houses there, and we had cigarettes at this way, cigarettes. And I gave a pack of cigarettes on the bloke, and half an hour later they hauled him up with an NEP. I said, well, there was all the funny things that day, but on that day, that wasn't a very happy day for me that day, actually. Because I was busy with my work on the top, and we had a big bump. We lost. My mate was the only man that was killed in Wageningen. That was the only soldier that was killed in Wageningen. There is a plate on the bottom on a house with a name on him, and I unveiled that with the burgomaster from Wageningen. And that was his two brothers that was twins. They was over, and it was very nice meeting them, of course. They followed the eye, then we went to the Boutersorglaan, where they were top built that Gebouw there, that what is there, that Victoria Vesta was that later. That was going a plane there. And there sat 6 tanks up from the Canadians and our carriers. And we took over that was our company headquarters, the Buitenzager. I was up the telephone waiting quartier, that's where the following day I was on the ropes from the carrier with you know what we had to do on your repairs. And we had a lot of repairs on then. And there come a young lady on, and she started talking to me, and well, it's okay, we'll go out tonight, and that was my wife. That was my luckiest day of the war. I knew her 14 days. Went through to Germany. I was three months in Germany. Then I went to the Middle East, so I never saw her again for 3 years. Yeah, we was actually our headquarters was Gebelsberg, but we was in Verdi, a place called Verdi, and that was a beautiful little village in the mountains. A beautiful little village. It was an Eliteberg, I would say, a Gold Coast. And that was allemaal inkwartierd Polen and Russen. Displaced persons, shall we say. And there was the Duitsers was all out. We took over for the Amerikaner, that they done. And there was plaatsen gebouwd where they could eat all and kolen, all for the cattle and so and everything. Well, they didn't do that. They took all the boodles out the house and set them in brand and so. And in the Bergen, they got in the Bergen, and there was molesting kinder and so and vrouwen. And we with the carriers, we could go quick with the carriers through. And the boeren, they'd allemaal grote hounds, and as they blaasde on the hounds, then we could not hear right, and it was direct allemaal. You might think that the old division was out there, and there was elk battalion had the carriers, and plus and auto's and so on, there was altijd uitgenodigd with all the plaatsen where you moest zitten. And there was a police bureau in, and they picked me the mensen up, huh? And it was terrible. You saw what the Russians did, and in the tribes they took to Rusland, you wanted in the train to set it with the bayonets. They wouldn't go because they knew they were going to get bumped as they got back to Rusland. Of course, they were mostly people who had frequently, I think. Well, they stoked vodka, their own vodka. And there were 3 blokes with guns, they drank that vodka and they was blind. They used that spell from what the Germans did in the V1s and the V3, they mixed that. And I never touched that. I saw it right away. Though. I used to like my drink, but I wouldn't touch that. And we lost quite a lot of lads there in Deutschland with sickness, syphilis and gonorrhea. Well, yeah, that's a very good schuld. Ik bedoel, that was the question als je de dingen deed wat je moet doen, dan kon je niet krijgen natuurlijk niet. Maar daar had ik geen tijd voor. Maar er waren een beetje getrouwde kerels, die waren gezellige jongens, die had ik niet. Nee, het was een moeilijke tijd. We waren op de Gazastrook. En de Gazastrook is nog steeds een rotplaats. Maar in die dagen was het een verschrikkelijke plaats natuurlijk. Because wij was a forgotten army in die dagen. Na 2 jaar in Palestina, dat weet niet uit, dat was het forgotten. En wij deden ook die boten. Er komen die boten aan met de Joden in. And that was illegal. The Yankees did that. And de marine die pakt de boterham. En wij moeten die mensen naar Cyprus brengen, de kampen in Cyprus. En in de boeken is allemaal schrijven, de kampen was verschrikkelijk, maar dat was niet waar. Dat was normaal eten gedaan en zo. Dat heb ik zelf gezien, het was geen... Als er moet zoveel Joden per jaar ingegaan. Wij was net als voor de NAVO, zou ik zeggen. Maar wij was hoe treat je dat? We had Joden jongens bij ons in het leger. Maar dat moeten wij. Dat was al gestuurd naar Egypte. En daar was de Australiërs in, ik weet het niet. Maar die allemaal goed gegaan, die hadden allemaal promotie gemaakt. Goed promotie. Maar er was geen Joden meer. Maar we hadden de kapitein bij ons. Hij was een Duitse Jood. En hij was intelligence officier bij ons. Maar hij was een roodzakker hoor, voor ons ook. Als hij krijgsgevangenen komt, hij moet altijd in gaat bij wezen, voor te praten en zo. En de eerste ding je altijd, hij issued een schap uit. Hè. Ja, dan had ik gedaan, die moet de eigen graf begraven. Hè. Dat was niet zo, dat was voor de trains, hè, voor VC's. Hè. Maar hij had het zo gemaakt en hij had altijd een pistool aan zijn vingers. Maar hij was niet makkelijk. Voor ons was hij ook niet makkelijk. We hadden in Duitsland, de eerste paar weken, was curfew. En je was 9 uur binnen, hè? Wij ook. Hè? En als je wordt op de straat en die loopt op de straat, die schild op je hoor. In 1944, the 49th Division, they got a new general, General Barker. Was a fine general. And the first thing he started on about, that was, that Polar Bear is not good. It looks as though he's sleeping, his head was down beneath it. And inside 24 hours, the whole regiment, they had a Polar Bear on the arm, all the vehicles had a Polar Bear on the fore and after camp from the vehicles and motors, on the motors, everything was Polar Bear. In 24 hours, that was all altered in a Polar Bear that was with a head up. He's a fighting beast. But he didn't know that a Polar Bear, when he's attacking, he has his head down beneath it. Very few people knew that, but by 24 hours, everybody had all the uniforms, it was all altered and all of that. Well, we hebben een goede tijd hoor, eigenlijk.
Ik merk het, ja.
Als wij was vrij en we 24 uur weg, dan hebben we 24 uur. Als wij hadden wel goed schik hoor.